Welcome all from the Tamkin community, and today we have a very interesting topic which is going to be presented by the founder of ShiftMind AI Labs, Mr. Hamza Aoun, and we are going to have a topic entitled The Role of Technology and Innovation in Fostering Safe Education. So we're going to look at technology and how it relates to the safety in our education systems. And with this short introduction, I would love to hand over to Mr. Hamza Aoun to guide us in today's lesson, and like I usually say, be attentive, take some notes, and be ready to ask questions when the question time comes. Mr. Hamza, it's on to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. Today's presentation, it will be more into safety in education when it comes to AI methods and AI integration into the school. We'll go to different slides and we can check how we can, what are the risks and how we can mitigate and what are the teachers' roles in this situation. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So first of all, I am Hamza Aoun, founder of ShiftMind AI Labs. Today we'll talk more into the role of technology and innovation in fostering safe education. So when we talk about innovation, okay, without safety, it will not give us like a value of what we are doing, okay? So safety is very important when we deal with innovation. Why? Because we need to preserve our integrity, we need to serve our dignity, and we need to preserve our values at the same time. So how we can protect these aspects and these pillars when we act with AI, especially in AI in education. So as start, safety is not a resistance to change, it's the foundation that sustains ethical innovation. And in AI-driven education, okay, safety ensures human dignity, fairness, agency, and remains central. What do you mean by that? So first of all, whenever we need to innovate something, we need to have new technologies, okay? We need to check, does it align with our values, with our attitudes, with our intents, and does it preserve our humanity at the same time when we are using it? And are we in control or the machine is in control? So here, safety, it will protect us from harm, right? But also it doesn't mean that safety will block innovation. No, it will enhance it more and more. It can be aligned with us in an ethical way. So what is safety in education? Okay. Let's check the pillars of risk that can be harmed. We have the cognitive, we have the emotional, we have the data, and we have the pedagogy. Okay? So when we talk about the cognitive safety, it means we need to protect ourselves from misinformation and intellectual dependency. Okay. So for example, when we interact with a tool like a chatbot, okay, the chatbot will start giving us answers. Here we need to check, is it providing us misinformation? And if I'm a student or a teacher, and I'm a user with limited knowledge, will I go directly with what sorry, will I go directly with what the chatbot is providing me as an answers and go for it for granted? Or should I criticize the answer? And should I link it to my real life? Will it work or not? So here I need to protect my cognitive side. And when I'm dealing with new information or interacting with AI chatbots. Okay. Let's go to the emotional safety. It's protection from manipulation and algorithmic biases. So let's say there's an AI, okay, it's trained on specific data. This data, it has certain certain information, okay, and it is trained based on the algorithm, okay, and it's provided us with a set and a final result based on the information and the data trained. When we talk about data, let's say it's about information, books, stories, music, and so on, okay. Let's say I'm from a certain country, okay, and I'm using this AI tool which is trained on specific data, but this data doesn't align with my country's culture. For example, that here, if I'm a young user using this chatbot or this tool or AI in general, okay, wouldn't have some contradiction with my values if I'm asking about my culture, if I'm asking about my attitudes, about the culture attitude of this society, or anything related to that society. And if I need to align it with my own society and with my own culture and with my own identity, will it conflict, or it will show more biases? And if I'm a young user, will I go with trust this information or not? So here, we need to protect also ourselves emotionally. Data safety is transparent and based data used. So data safety, it's more into our personal information. Pedagogy safety, ensuring AI deepens understanding rather than replacing AI. What do you mean by that? Okay. For example, some students and some users will use AI to provide them directly with answers. Is this learning? If the tool is just providing me the answer, this is not learning. Why? Because in learning journey, we need to have different steps. First, we need to check, did we perceive this knowledge? And can we defend the knowledge, like the information that we are processing? Can I summarize or explain this information in my own words? And how can I migrate and use this new information in a new situation? For example, I'm studying equation in math. How can I relate equation to chemistry? How can I relate equation to physics? How can I relate equation to economics? So I'm using the initial situation, which is mathematics, for example, an equation. I transferred it into another subject and I used it in another context. So we need to make sure that the AI is helping us and supporting us to deepen our understanding in a certain method. For example, let's say that I'm a grade 12 student, okay, and I'm working with something called integral. But I need to find the area, or something called in mathematics, it would be like area under the curve and so on. And there are different methods to use it. So for example, if I have like millions of data, can I, as a student, use the hand and paper, like pen and paper or method to calculate it? It will be very hard for me. So here I'm using the tool, okay, that supports me to solve this 100 million data, okay? But eventually, in the initial stage, I know the method as a student, I know how to implement it, and I know what's the result behind it. Okay, so here I'm deepening my usage of the tool and my understanding and my output results and through the process. So the dimension of safety mainly covered the cognitive, the emotional, data, and the pedagogy. So what's the difference between safety and the security? So safety, it's prevent physical, emotional, and cognitive harm from AI tool. We need to make sure that the content is not biased and we have appropriate age of usage and recommendation. So safety in AI in education refers to ensuring that AI tools and systems operate without causing harm to students, teachers, educational process. While if we go to the security, it's more into cybersecurity and data privacy, okay, and data breaches and miscellaneous attacks. So in order to know the risks and to mitigate the risk, we need to go to the main concerns. So in the safety, And the safety of AI in education, the main concerns are algorithmic biases, misinformation, psychological impact on students, and safe interaction with AI system. I think most of you heard some like social media and others that some people are using ChatGPT or Gemini or any other AI model uh, to create something harmful for other users or for other people and so on. So, so the main concern here are algorithmic biases, misinformation, psychological, and safe interaction. Okay? So here, in order to ensure that there's the AI used safely, we need to have some regulations. Okay, so we need to use we need to use and teach students how to use AI responsibly. When we have these principles and policies, governance, it will all create an ecosystem where the use of this AI tool or the AI system or the AI model is safe. We will talk more into details how about the validations of the tool itself or the model and so on. So in order to have, from the beginning that we mentioned that the pedagogy, about the pedagogy, uh, it should deepen our understanding, okay? In order to know that we are the owner of this knowledge, okay, we need to confirm that I'm as a user, I can defend what I know, okay? And I can answer and uh, whatever information and transfer it to something new. So the learning pillars will be as a follow, like learning to know. When I learn to know, I will protect my cognitive part. When I learn to do, it's more into operational safety. Learning to be, it's more into emotional safety. Learning to learn, it's metacognitive safety because whenever I need to learn something, I start criticizing, asking, and so on. Learning to collaborate is social safety. So innovation examples for each pillar can be what? Learning to know, transparent AI reasoning tool. What does this mean? I need to know as a user how this tool came up with this result. Okay, based on what? So here I start criticizing and checking the misinformation if there was and the misconception if there was. Learning to do, it's more into operational safety. It's safe digital labs simulation. Okay. So here I'm creating simulations. An example, like physics labs or engineering lab, I can transform the knowledge that I have, the information of the lesson, and implement it as a simulation, where the user can start simulating the event of the lesson and visualize it. So here they are learning to do. Learning to be is AI reflection and feedback system. Okay, so here, for example, as we mentioned in the earlier about the cultural misinformation. If I'm using a X model and I asked it some question about the culture and gave me some misinformation. So how should I reflect to it? How it will affect me? Learning to learn, metacognitive safety, it will be more into AI literacy. AI literacy is very important to teach about the AI now. So in general, the risk of safety in AI is what? The cognitive overload, misinformation, emotional manipulation, loss of moral reasoning, data misuse, cultural biases, institutional gaps in governance, and surveillance. Institutional gaps in governance, this is very important subject. We will talk on it later on. So the philosophy of AI in education at ShiftMind AI Labs. I've divided it into several layers, layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. And the main outcome is what? Learners capable of thinking, judging, and acting responsibly. If we go to layer 1, which is the foundation and human epistemic code, where we need to have our innate epistemic social knowledge, which are understanding, reasoning, critical thinking, the ability to comprehend, synthesize, awareness, which is reflect the ownership of knowledge. In general, AI cannot deepen what the learner has not first constructed. So AI cannot deepen my understanding in something and a subject that I didn't understand from the beginning. So AI has no pedagogical purpose until this foundation exists. So in order to integrate AI into our pedagogy, we need to ensure that the foundation of a human and epistemic core is there, is valid. When we confirm layer 1, we go to layer 2, which is the readiness for responsible integration. What do you mean by that? Is the AI essential in that stage? And are the essential skills been built? Can learners question, reflect, and reason independently? Do learners understand how bias and context affect knowledge? Okay. So here we need to ask our question. Are the users ready? Is the school ready? And are the teachers ready? So if readiness, it's a major layer that will ensure the process and the formation of layer 1 and the migration to layer 3. Layer 3 is the conditional AI integration. So first layer, I confirm the foundational human and epistemic core. The second the layer, I'm ready and using and ready for responsible AI integration. Okay. And third layer is conditional AI integration. What do you mean by that? First of all, we need to identify the needs. Is it for the teacher, for the student, for the school itself, or for the administration, or for the higher education? Then define the purpose. Why I should use this tool, when I should use it, and how I will use it. Then later I will have evaluation effectiveness. Okay. Then I will need to evaluate what I've been done, either through a pilot project or through virtual assessments or virtual assessment that can be done. Okay. So it's very important to pilot, test, evaluation, and then decide. This is what we mean by conditional AI integration. And there we can decide whether to continue with the tool, to pause the tool, or withdraw the tool. If we saw that this tool is not deepening the understanding of our student, and the learners are not thinking critically or judging or acting responsibly, then it's up to the school to pause or withdraw. And then they need to reflect about the outcome of this tool, what they need to modify, what they need to enhance, and how can they do so. So mainly the purpose of this philosophy, okay, is to cultivate understanding and curiosity, and to apply knowledge ethically and effectively, also to nurture identity, reflection, and agency. So the 3 layers are very important. So that I will repeat the first layer because it's very important one. It confirms that I'm a user or a student, educator. I have my innate epistemic and social knowledge. I'm sure that I can understand, reason, criticize, comprehend, synthesize. So I'm the owner of the knowledge. And from there, I can start integrating AI through layer 2. I am ready. Are the essential skills been built? Can learners question, reflect, and so on? Do learners understand how biases and context affect knowledge? When we can reflect on these, we can go to the conditional AI integration, whether the school or teacher can decide whether to pause, withdraw, or continue with the tool. Here, this is an example of an AI tool which is done in a school. I had a pilot project in one of the schools about writing, enhancing AI writing for grade 10 students. So first of all, we had a meeting with the teachers. What are the needs there? They needed some tools that enhance student writing. Okay. Then we had a small discussion. If we gave this tool directly to the student, how the teacher can know if the student provided the writing by themselves or by the tool? So we need to have a policy that will protect the students' knowledge, okay, and provide them with critical thinking and awareness about what they are doing, and also for the teacher to preserve the educational integrity in the school. So the first step is what? The teacher confirmed layer 1. Yes, the students, they are aware about the lesson, they can understand it, they can criticize it, and they can synthesize. Now, layer 2, we had some readiness program for the students and for the teachers. And from there, we decided when we need to use this tool. Can we use it every time or in a specific period of time, in class, outside the class, and why we need to use it? So we set all the objectives and all the details. Later, we did the policy. The students first write the draft inside the classroom. They will write it without the help of any AI tool. Normal writing skills. At home, the student will upload the draft to the tool, and they will receive the feedback from the tool. The student will read the feedback. They can compare the feedback with their initial writing. They understood, they criticized, and they compared. The second day when they go to school, they will rewrite their final draft, knowing that initial stage is writing the first draft in the classroom. Second one is creating, getting the feedback from the tool, compared between the initial and the feedback. The third step, they went to the classroom, they wrote their final draft based on the feedback and based on their initial writing. This is done. How, for me as a teacher, I need to test the ethical part of this activity. And how did the student use the AI tool? Did it use it responsibly or not? So we created an ethical questionnaire, questioning like the student. Did you agree with the feedback of the tool? Did you use all the feedback in your writing? Did it enhance your writing? Did it help you? Or did you use any information from it or agree, disagree? So here we are building like a system for the student and to teach them that AI tools can provide misinformation or misleading information. So they need to check. Okay. Going back to the AI validation structure in the school. Previously, we mentioned that the school need to validate the tool in order to check is the tool appropriate for the usage, for this class, for this subject? Is it safe? It's not safe, and so on. So the first step, we need to define the AI exposure. Is it a generative AI? Is it a perspective AI? Okay. So we need to check which exposure it is covering. Is it generative? It's the most dangerous. I will not say dangerous. It has more risks than the others. Then step 2, we need to go to the ethical and investigate. Is it human-centered and safe. So we go to the level 1, which is layer 1, the foundation and human epistemic core. Does it cover all layers in level 1? Then readiness gate. Are teachers and learners ready? Then we go to the conditional implementation. Why, when, and how to deploy. At the end, the reader decision: proceed, reject, pilot, and evaluate. So this is the validation process that a school or institution can go through. By this way, they will start integrating AI into their pedagogy safely and responsibly, and they are sure that the AI will deepen the understanding of the student. What about the teacher's role and how we can engage teachers in this process? So first of all, we need to know that sphere of control, we have 3 spheres: sphere of control, sphere of influence, and sphere of interest. Sphere of control, what the teacher is in control of. Teacher is in control of instructional integration, pedagogy, learning environment design, and feedback evaluation, and AI literacy instruction. So here the teacher is in control. As if we are asking ourselves, what teachers have direct authority over AI enhanced education? So first we set the authority of the teacher. Now, how can the teacher influence the decision? If we go to the validation layer, at the end stage 5, the school will need to pilot, proceed, withdraw, or pause, right? So here, the teacher has an influence. How? What teacher can shape or contribute to the collaboration and leadership? First of all, school and district AI adoption, professional learning communities, curriculum co-development, which is the very most important curriculum co-development, where collaborating on integrating AI literacy across subject and grade levels, and student digital citizenship, feedback to the developers. So for example, let's say I am a teacher and I need to integrate a tool into my classroom about writing, the one that we did before. So there should be a triangular relationship between the developer, the teacher, the school, or the developer, the school, the teacher, and the student. So the developer can understand what are the teacher's need, and also the teacher can know how the tool is working to explain it for the students, and then the student know their role in the spot. So it's very important to know what are the conditions and the parts of the sphere of influence of each teacher. And what is the sphere of interest? It's what teachers should monitor to stay informed and contextual aware. Now, a lot of regulation, policies, researchers are on. So, for example, you have the AI Act, the EU AI Act, the UNESCO frameworks. Also, you have the AI Lets. You have some documentation and researches from universities regarding the safe use, regarding the regulation, regarding implementation, and also the OECD index. They have different readings which support the progress and the staying of information of each teacher individual. So knowing this information and be updated, it will help us more as educators to increase our sphere of control and the sphere of influence. So the parts of the sphere of interest are AI policies and regulation, the ethical debates, AI impacts on future work on society, global AI education models, so we can read about the school school and country X implemented the AI, what's their feedback, how they are, what are the observation, what's the study, and the technological advancement in AI. And also always track the advancement in generative AI. So all of these combined all together will provide a safe ecosystem for the teacher, for the student, and the school. So the relation between the teacher, student, and AI, it can be triangular. The teacher will provide the human interaction, pedagogy, ethics, and the civic growth for the student. The student with the AI relation will deepen reach, critical and ethical use of AI tools, and also exploration. And the relation between teacher and AI, the AI will support teachers to act as an assistant, enhance productivity, and provide data insights. So this relation between the three is very important to keep the safety on all the way. So as an understanding, at the early stages of the implementation of the tool or the system AI model, the teacher leads, AI assists, student engage. At later stages, the students start co-create, teacher monitor, AI adapt. And we need to make sure that for the following risks: over-reliance on AI. If the student over-relied on AI, what will happen to their emotional, to their cognitive skills? Bias and inequality, privacy and data security, the misinformation, inequality and unequal access, which is leading digital divide. For example, in the same classroom, okay, there are students are able to purchase or able to have this tool, others will not. How we will deal with it? So, do we continue with this tool or not? So, such decisions should be taken into considerations. Moreover, there are some books created by us. It's about AI exploration, which is AI sparring curriculum for grade 4. In this book, it's like a curriculum for grade 4 and grade 5 students, where they can go and learn about AI and a stage and a level that matches their understanding. Like, what is AI? How does it work? How we can interact with it, teaching them the AI literacy, but paper and pencil. Here we are not providing them with any AI tools, any software. It's all paper and pencil. Why? Because we need to preserve and to make sure that they are understanding the AI, to merge it in their internal framework, how they are thinking and how do they synthesize. When they are exposed, when the students are exposed to the tool, they can know how to interact with it responsibly and ethically. Thank you all for attending. That's all from my side.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamza Aoun. We do have a question though in the yes.
When you say AI, yes, when I say AI, it's more into fine-tuned models because the school need ready models to be used. And if they need to have a fine-tuned model and to get it like an open source, they need to go through it. They need to fine-tune it. They need to sit with the developers. At that stage, when everything is done, okay, they will go to the validation and check how they can deal with it or how they can integrate it to the classroom or not.
Hello, Mr. Hamza.
Yeah.
So thank you for your presentation. So what I mean by my question is that we are working on ethics solution for Morocco, For the prototype, there is not problem of fine tuning because, but after in scalability, if like example, there's 10,000 students using the app, it will be so expensive and it will not cost we will cost them more, and they are not ready to pay more for the solution. So how we can also, the other thing is that students specifically in the TikTok generation, they are lacking focus. So how we can deliver good content for those students and also keep the expenses low.
Okay. Here it's more related into sustainability and the life cycle of AI. If we need to talk about cost, there are different models. Some models will cost like 1 million token input output, $0.3, $0.5, $10, $20. It depends on the model that we are using. And also there are open source models. Open source models, you can use Olama, for example, but it will be more into local hosting. Okay. And also there are like open sources on Hugging Face, GitHub, and other platforms that we can use from there. But there, you need to make sure that they are falling under some regulation policies. And some models, they might provide harmful information, like inappropriate image generation, for example, or inappropriate wording. So these we need to take them into consideration. Yes, this is also a problem about the digital divide that we talked previously on it. Somehow we talked about it. So using the tool for 10,000 students, it will be cost effective. Okay? So we need to check which most appropriate model can be used to deliver the information. Okay, it doesn't mean that if I'm using ChatGPT 5 in this situation means it's better than GPT 4.1, for example, or better than Gemini, or better than Claude, or Kimi, or Grok. Okay, so here you need to check what are the needs, which models aligns with this objective, and then we can select which AI model I can use for cost effectiveness and matches our objective. Okay? And if you need to build something local, okay, you can use Olama download. It will be for free, but also there's another problem, which is the cost of the laptops, because you will run it locally, so you need a laptop and hardware that matches with the model that you are using. So it always depends on the objective of what is your objective behind it. Like, is it a simple AI chatbot for specific tasks? We can go, for example, to GPT 4.40 mini or Gemini Flashlight, 2.5 Flashlight. So it depends on our objective. If we need it to be more reasoning, to have reasoning, you can go to higher reasoning model. It will cost more. So it depends on the objective of what you need. Okay. Second question is from Mr. Ismail. How can parents and educators work together to prevent students from abusing technology at home and school? Okay, set policies. The easiest way for question like how can parents and educators work together to prevent students from abusing technology at home and the school? Set a policy. As the one we mentioned in the AI writing companion. We set a policy. At school, they will do 1, 2, 3. At home, they will do 1, 2, 3. They go back to school, they will do 1, 2, 3. This is a sample of a policy that the student will abide and use it. Moreover, you can have some tools you can create tools that will only open for students from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m., for example. So you limit the usage of the tool by the students. Okay. So there are some regulation and policies that should be done from the school side and the educator side. Once this is done, parents can come inside, can be a part where the school will have some induction for the parents, what we are going to do, what is our objective, and what is our expected outcome from this AI integration. And we need from you to have some strict policies at home when we are using this tool. So it's also the role of the school administration and school principal. It's very important. Now the question 3, Zainab. What policies are most effective in limiting misuse of devices and online platforms? So here we need to check the age appropriateness. Is this tool effective and appropriate for age 13, age 15, age 20? It depends. And what information we are providing to this tool, when they need to use it, and how they need to use it. The WH questions are very important in everything, especially in the policies formation and the integration of AI tools into the classroom or the teaching pedagogies. How can these cases work together? Yeah, like how can parents and educators work together to prevent students? This we already answered it. It's similar to Mr. Ismail question. Like basically, you need to set the policies. This is the first one. Have induction for parents, training for students and teachers. The readiness layer should be there in order to mitigate the risks. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And on a more slightly closer question to your field of work, I would love to ask and find out what major experiences have you encountered that have changed your perspective on how education and technology need to work together, like in your life? Yes.
Yeah. How do I usually think about technology and how I think about integrating it into the classroom? To be honest, if you ask me about any tool now, I might say I don't know it. Okay? Because I cannot use a single tool for everything, especially if I am a teacher inside the classroom, okay? Teaching in a class. So I need to have some customized specific tools that aligns with my needs, aligns with my objective, and I can develop it. Why I can develop it? Because I know my students more. The tool itself, if it needs to, let's say, for example, evaluate a student work, it will not know the student. The machine will not know the student. It will know the data. It will know, for example, the grades. It will know the attitude. It will know like his motion. If there is facial recognition cameras, for example, which is harmful as well. So the machine will look at the data, but it will not look to the inner side or the emotional side of the student. Okay? This is one. 2, for example, if I need to use an AI tool to do the grading for me, how will I trust this AI tool and the grading? Did it what matrix or matrix it has, or what built-in information based on what information the tool will correct, the test or the essay or anything else. It's like a black box for me. So knowing what I want and aligning with my objective and my expectation, I can create this tool that will really support me in my work or in my study. And also it will deepen my understanding of what I'm building. Now I know how the tool will work. I have information of how it's processing the information. And I know when to deliver and why I need to deliver with that tool. I hope my answer, that's my answer. I hope I answered your question as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Hamza.
Thank you.
Fortunately, we've arrived at the end of our session today, and I would love to thank each and every one of us that had attended from the Tanking community and everyone that is going to see this session afterwards through our networks and also through YouTube. But most of all, I would love to thank Mr. Hamza Aoun for coming through and giving us such a wonderful lesson and wonderful session. We've all picked up something for educators and for those that are students that would also love to move in this particular field. We'll leave Mr. Hamza's contact so you can further on ask him and also follow him on LinkedIn and all his socials. But most of all, Mr. Hamza, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you very much for your presentation. It was a wonderful experience that we all had. Would love to invite you once more, if possible, to present to us another session on a slightly different topic, and I'm sure people would love to hear more from you. I'll give you the last word if you have anything more to say.
Thank you for the session and the invitation. And sure, it's my pleasure to have other sessions with you. And hopefully all the attendees took something from this presentation and more to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And to everyone, goodbye till next time.